that helped me to sustain myself for the full hour. Okay. So, see, that's a pause time. Boom. In that pause, I took an extra deeper breath. Okay. And we'll get to pick up the pace soon here. Then eventually I began to realize at that downtime, oh, it's down, and down infers a deeper dimensional pool of energy. So down in the sense of a deeper pool of energy intaking coming up. You following me so far? Noah, give me a heads up. Yes, okay. Uh, okay, okay. And again, for some reason, I can never remember this guy's name. The Greek god or whoever was thrown down, he'd come up stronger. Somebody help. Lauren, you know his name, don't you?
I can't remember his name because he lost to Hercules.
Nobody remembers his name. No, it's not Hercules.
I don't have that one, Sensei.
Oh, really? I thought you had it last time. I couldn't remember. Anyway, there was this Greek god or something. You throw him down, he'd come up stronger. He knew the trick of there's a dimensional pool of energy. You throw me down, I tap that pool of energy, and I come up stronger. In the pause, you can pick up the pace if you know what you're doing dimensionally and you partake of it. So in that down, you tap a pool, you come up with more energy. Or at least, see, there's different levels. You could just touch enough to keep sustaining yourself, like I was doing with the breath. Okay, just get a breath. So I wasn't picking up the pace. I was just sustaining, hoping I get enough breaths in there to last the hour of fast training. Okay, but there is a possibility to pick up the pace by doing a little more dimensional. Boom, bang. Somebody say something.
Yes, it's Lauren. And Antaeus touched the earth. Whenever he was touched the earth, his mother, as a Greek god, his strength was renewed, so that even if thrown to the ground, he was invincible. Hercules figured this out and lifted him up off the earth and managed to crush him to death. But
that's bad ending. Anyway, thank you.
But you're right that when he was thrown down, it gave him, he drew strength from the earth that he was thrown onto, and he rose stronger from every
it's a support. It's an ally. There's stuff for you personally there.
If I may, there's a Chinese phrase, borrow the energy or take the energy or force from the earth.
Yeah, so just having your own sense of it. I tell you my sense of it and what I think makes it easier for you, but your sense of it so you can activate it, partake of it, utilize it, come up with your own words again. Okay. Again, it's not just an idea. There's that ha part, if I could say that. Boom, 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 bang, bang, bang. Okay. Remember, a lot of people don't catch it because they think they have the idea, they've got it. You've got half of it. Okay. The other half is boom, 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 boom. This is critical. This is very important. Too many people, this is an ancient problem, ancient, where we think, oh, I'm aware of that. I've got it all. Aware to its supportive partner, the energies. Okay. So let's see. Did I handle that okay? Sort of, kind of, I think. Katja, are you free? Okay. And also, there was a question there. This gentleman is newer at Aikido, so there we go. Yeah, newer at Aikido. So y'all bear with me while I go over this basic. Okay. What was the question? Harmony. Relationship of Uke Nage. Okay. One way to look at it is, are we okay there? Should shift a bit. Okay. Katja is the positive factor right now, a little more circular. positive, not overdoing it. I'm the receptive. Now it's changing. She's becoming receptive. I, therefore, by law, positiveness. Okay? So positive to the receptive, it changes. She's going receptive. I'm positive. Okay? All right. And that's not a bad set, but we do both sides. So we get a fuller set. So we do the same thing with the other side. Okay. Now, if you want an even fuller set, then we reverse. I'm the positive attacker. She's receptive. It's changing. I'm becoming receptive. She's positive. Okay. And again, both sides. So it becomes a full sequence, not the right word, a full set. Okay. At the end of a full set is a good time to use that little pause that's there. See, even there's a little pause when we're working together, and then I have to get up or she backs off, and then we re-engage. Right in there is a little pause. Okay, so right in there, I could use that pause to remind myself to touch, activate, intake, submit energy. And again, there are different levels. Energy just to sustain. I was doing that a bit with just the breath. I just wanted to sustain myself for the hour so I wouldn't get too winded, right? One physical game. Where are you? There you are. The hidden wife. Okay, so we would do something. Oh, let's say back. Let's say I want to reference, I'm using back. Okay. Just with the sense that I could use nose, but I think nose guy is a lesser guy. Okay. Easy, settle a bit. Oh, back guy. Your back guy's a little bit better. Back, boom. Okay. So I use body parts just as a reference. Better than back guy is hip back guy. Better than hip back guy is ground support. Ground support, full body ground support guy. Okay, so I would, in class, pick a body part that felt right that day or at that time, and just try to stay constant for the whole class. So Mr. Back, as Uke, as Nage, continue to hold or re-register as Mr. Back. So I had practice in sustaining myself at a particular level throughout a whole busy class. Okay? Did I say anything intelligent with that? Let me check. Noah, did I say anything intelligent? Just give me a nod. Or you can give me a thumbs down if you want. Okay. I got lost. Get out of here. Gotcha. Thank you. Okay. So, and sometimes in practice like that, I also like the communications form. So we were saying Katya's positive, I'm receptive, and it changes, I'm positive, she's receptive. I also like the communications form where she talks and I listen fully. When I have fully felt, then I activate. I get to talk, she gets to listen. So I use it as communications also. So what should a good, I think one of your questions in there was, what should be a relationship or how should you, well, speak clearly. If you want your partner to practice a circle, then give them a little bit of a circle sense so they have a reason to do circle. If you want them to go straight back, don't give them a circular attack and expect them to go straight back. Straight back, I come in, you go back straight back. So we're practicing on set things. Is that okay? Uh, so be fully there as best as you can as a positive speaker, and be fully there as a receptive listener, not just your ears. It's through the whole body, feel and listen. As you settle and get into finer levels of things, you're sensing, listening, moving. Same thing, but it's picked up the pace a bit. You begin to it's sort of in a finer. You get earlier, you can sense where it's going, even before it actually physically goes. Oh, this guy's going to come at me circular. Oh, okay, boom. You're already a little bit ahead of the game, and on and on and on and on and on. So I hope some of that helped you. Oh, anything before I move on? I think I'm going to move on here.
Sensei, just a quick thing. This is Justin in Miami.
Hey, Justin.
Hiya. I wanted to add on that note, we found it helpful that, as you've mentioned, both Uke and Nage come at the experience with the same level of intensity. Like one
Yeah.
shouldn't be a 10-pounder and one shouldn't be the 20-pounder. Like
Yeah. So I like to get that across that we just made that number up. We'll practice at a 10-pound level. Okay. And then as you feel pretty good, somebody, probably the lead man there, says, okay, let's try 15. And he moves with 15. If Uke, the younger student, is okay with 15, then they train for a while at 15 pounds. I'm coming in 15. You blend with me at 15. You throw me at 15. Okay. Again, if you have a head man there, and he picks up the pace to 20, and he realizes Uke's falling apart a bit because of the younger one, right? And Uke can't play at that level. Then we used to immediately go back to 15 pounds, and that was where we trained for that whole class, at a 15-pound level. Okay, I didn't try to screw the guy up, but me attacking in 20, and he can only do 15, so I'm killing him. Why would I do that? Where's the harmony here? Where's his development? He's not going to develop. Okay. So yeah, Justin, anything else on that? Were you finished?
no, that was the observation. Just that both should be helping each other to develop by not adding too much pressure when someone's not ready or at that level, and just both be in harmony, agreeing at what pace do we come into the experience with both for balance, like you've mentioned in the past.
Yeah.
That's all.
That was easily understood in my training days. We didn't have to talk about it. It was noted, and you back up a bit or back off a bit. You didn't have to talk about it. It was just, you could pick it up. You could feel it. So a lot of these things weren't discussed. They were just practiced that way. Okay. So me and Eddie Hajihara used to have a game. I would throw him into the wall. We had a nice wooden wall there. Bang! Then he would have a chance. He'd throw me into the wooden wall, and I'd throw him harder into the wooden wall. Usually Eddie would give up first. I'm a little bit meaner. And as soon as they started to back off, then I would say, oh, okay. And then I'd stop throwing him through the wall, and he'd stop throwing me at the wall. But it's very obvious. He was backing off. He said, I don't want to do anymore. I can't do anymore. This is not fun anymore. Okay. Justin, give me a call sometime, would you?
Can't count on it. When is a good day next week for you, Sensei?
Probably anytime daytime. I'm out usually on my front porch reading you guys' letters and stuff. That's what I do.
After
Anyway,
10 a.m. Pacific time, Justin. After 10 a.m. Pacific time, Justin.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you. Duly noted.
Okay. I'm going to go around quickly with Gina. I talked to her last week, I believe. I want to go, but we didn't finish. Okay. She was asking about healing. Okay, again, it's not my great major, but some interest, some practice. Okay, many different forms. Come on, notebook. So we can do a basic body centered, and on the center line, the energies move up and down. Okay. As you settle, they go into a finer dimension, so they move up from lower, and you go higher, up and down. As the energies dimensionally improve, they're better. So there's a healing capability in those finer energies. Okay. So you just do that body form, easy. And whatever you mentally set up to call it into play, I want to be healthier, or however you want to start it. It's your body, your physical problem, your health. You come up with your own word. Just, I'd like to be healthier. I guess that would work. I'd like to be a little more clear. And then the energies move up and down, and you feel, and I call that the pump. Stay with that for a bit. With the sense that the finer energies are mixing up through the body, helping it to get healthier. Okay. So that basic, simple form. We used to see examples of this. I mentioned this, I'm sure, because we had a few skiers in early Aikido years, and they would often break their arm or something. Not in Aikido, in this other stuff they were doing. But because we were playing a lot in those days with basic energy flow. So I would suggest that they let some energy flow with their broken cast on the arm. Excuse me. And this happened frequently, more than once, where the doctor said, what surprised the different doctors these people had, how fast the bone was healing. You see, this wasn't an accident. Flowing energy facilitated the bone healing faster. Basic, simple. Okay. Now, other form might be where if you're more of the circular type, harmony with the realm, but that harmony also creates a character. These beats mix a character. These beats mix a character. Same character is still you, but those beats, so better in harmony with your circumstances, with a sense of healthier, boom, boom. And the energies mixing, boom, center again, because your character now. So character is on center line. Should get healthier. I would guess that in doing this form of the situation you're in, that the form of healing might be a little bit different than this form. I just have a sense that this form might talk about nutrition, maybe a bit more than this form, maybe. That this form might talk about your attitude. You know, you're kind of bitchy. You want to be healed. You got to be a less bitchy. Boom, boom. It might bring in that kind of thing because it's of the nature of that, sort of highlight that. So we could do this style, we could do that style, we could do an advanced form where you do both at the same time, where you do a center and circle, circle and center. Let's see, circle, can you see that? Close up, right. Okay, circle, center, center, circle. Now we've got a bigger set of parents here, okay? You had parents when you did up and down, but there's smaller parents, had parents with just in and out. Here we're getting much bigger parents. The great circle, the great center, the great center, the great circle, okay? And when those two are in harmony, they create a character. And if you had said healthier, then all those energies should be in relation to healthier body functioning kind of thing. Okay? All right. Yeah. And let's see. And I want to bring up that that mind use. There's forms where you got, I don't know, you got a bad liver, and you have a mental image of your liver. You let your liver talk, and the energies are activated. So there's a mental imaging of doing this that people have bumped into and are using it for healing. Roy, are you on tonight?
He's here.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, Roy?
Yeah.
In your earlier work, pre-Aikido work, didn't you guys use this kind of thing for healing as part
Yeah,
of
very
your...
much so. They called it listening to your symptoms. So you actually spoke to the intelligence of what was taking place as your symptom, and then got information that would not be available just from going to the doctor, for instance, usually.
Okay, so, and say that one more time again for me. If you want to change the words a bit, fine. Say the same thing. Tell me again.
Well, we used the process that was called at that time listening to your symptoms. And basically what you did is you spoke to the intelligence of what that symptom was
Okay,
expressing.
give me an example. There, I want. Give me a.
Let's
make
say
one
you
up.
got a back pain. Okay?
Okay.
You got a pain in your back. You've gone to the doctor. They've checked it out. Everything seems lined up. There's nothing else you could do. And so what you do is you allow an image to form of that back pain. And then from that image, I would say, okay, well, tell me about yourself. Or you'd basically begin a dialogue with that pain itself.
With back pain. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're talking to back pain.
Your back pain, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to your back pain, bro. Yes. Okay.
No, you won't.
And you got results out of that. Our folks got results.
Oh, yeah. People found out what the other side of the problem was. So if there was no structural damage, or even if there was structural damage, people were looking for how they could access something more about what was going on that would then release it. So somebody might find out that, so-and-so has a pain in my neck or a pain in my back, that it's related to something completely outside of the normal structural musculoskeletal situation.
A quick story. I love this story. Somebody was in the business of helping people who got hurt, guys on the job. Most of them had hurt their back. Maybe it was a specialist on helping guys do something else, trying to help them continue working after their back procedures.
Mm-hmm.
And what he noted unexpected was none of the guys wanted to go back to the job that they had before where they hurt their back. Ding! It's like, whoa, what's going on here? Okay. So you begin to wonder about, they must not have loved that job. or they probably wouldn't have gotten hurt on the job or something like that. So other things are happening behind the scenes here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bob, you like healing. Anything I overtly missed or would make anybody happy about our work and healing?
Bob Noah, you're muted. Bob Noah, you're muted. Still muted.
You're not muted. It's somewhere on your microphone.
How about now?
There you
Yes.
go.
Sorry. One of your basic sensei is settling and relaxing. And times when I'm doing healing, say somebody hurt their knee, you put your hands on their knee and what you feel is this very frenetic energy, separate from the injury itself. And if
Okay.
you get that frenetic energy to calm down, and in fact, it's kind of similar to what Roy was talking about. You sort of talk to the injured knee and say, relax, easy. And with your hands there, you flow some of your own energy in. And pretty soon that goes away. Sometimes that's enough to
The
fix the problem.
frenetic goes away or your hand goes away?
The frenetic goes away.
Okay.
That's
Be
enough.
distinct, Bob. You're talking to Nado. Okay. Thank you.
Sometimes that's enough to fix the problem. Other times you may do an adjustment or something else. But getting rid of that frenetic kind of freak out energy is a big first step in helping somebody get better. So that's basic of Sensei that you taught us about settling as a first basic before you try anything else.
Yeah, kind of the basics of get out of the first level you, easy, settle, so that things can begin to work more harmonious, but they can't if you're still in that place. You have to settle. Yeah.
That's correct.
And yeah, and where I would come in after a while and say, well, let's settle into a finer before we read this. Let's not manipulate them yet. Let's go finer dimensionally and see what that knee has to say. Let's go finer. So that's my claim to fame. I don't stop at one level because you can become a good knee manipulator. Right, Bob? You got pretty good at that, did you?
Right.
You were noted as a knee manipulator, I believe, if I recall. That's fine. That's great. But what's the next level? What's the next dimensional level? What goes on at that level? Is where I like to keep pointing you. Okay. So sometimes you don't get satisfaction from me because you reach a point where you're a good knee manipulator. And sometimes I'm a little fast with you and I say, that's nice. Now let's move on. So I don't applaud you weeks and months on and years on end about what a good manipulator you are, because I want to move on. I want you to move on. So sometimes I may have seemed short there to you, or not, what's the word? Not applauding your success.
Not supportive enough?
Not supportive enough.
Sensei.
Yes, of course you're a good manipulator. Now, next, let's move. Yes, who that?
It's Diana.
Oh, Diana.
Diana. So it's kind of related in terms of healing. Something I learned the very first time I was at Sleeper Avenue with you. I had walked across the dusty driveway and gotten schmutz dirt under my contact lens. So I was in a lot of pain. And I walked into the kitchen area and I was in all this pain. And this is a Harvey Moskowitz story. You said, Harvey, take her into the sitting room and fix her. So I was, if anybody wears contact lenses, it's very, very painful to have dust underneath them. So he took me into the sitting room and he told me to lay down on the floor. And I laid down and I was like almost in a fetal position because I was in so much pain. And he just sat there and he looked at me and he said, where does it hurt? And I'm like, what, are you kidding? And, it's my left eye or whatever. And he sat there and he said, well, why is the rest of your body all squinched up? And that was huge. It was including. Yeah. Thought I'd share that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Sensei,
Yeah,
it's Justin. I don't want to mean to
Yeah.
jump in again.
Yeah.
I just want to, and echo everything you guys have said about this topic and healing. I've been, as I've probably mentioned before, using a settling and opening progression in various ways in the clinic. And as you were talking now about settling into finer levels before having this conversation, I found that to be very interesting with the patients, because if they're not at a deep enough level, we've maybe misread or misunderstood what was actually going on. For example, somebody might be coming in with a stomach pain, and then eventually the stomach might say, I don't know why you're talking to me. It's the gallbladder you should be talking to, or something like that. Or why are you cornering the adrenals? It's actually this and this that have to come into the conversation. It's not obvious at first because of maybe a level of depth or what have you. Anyway, funny
I would say it
observation.
that
It's
way.
been
Yeah. You know, they're all blind out there, right? Little better dimensionals, certainly seeing from a better dimension. Ah, the one-eyed man. He's king in the land of the blind, right? And continue. There's microscopic seeing man, and there's whatever. So yes, dimensionality is what's made all of our work, whether it's working with knees or patients or Diane's eye, made it easier. Dimensional work. You kind of know that if you're having a sort of a crazy day and you're sort of getting in your own way and dropping stuff and then you got something important to do, you know at that level you're at, it's not going to work out too well. You know that. You know, if you are more settled and calmer, meaning you're in a better level, dimensionally speaking, more apt to work out better. Okay. And unfortunately, and these things are kind of easy, those first few phases. Once you catch a couple of simple tricks with it, they're basically kind of easy. That not everyone just knows that first couple of easy ones. Okay. And those that know the easy ones then start to stop there. But some of us have to continue to what's next? What's at a finer level? And continue if it so interests you to do so. Okay. Thank you for all the input on that. That was for Gina, right? Gina, I still, and we're going to get to this, people, everyone, we're going to get to this self. Okay. I still think the self, I'm seeing that as I look at and feel these letters out. A lot of people are really trying to ask about self. They're shrouding it in different words because they're not quite clear on with themselves what self is. But I'm seeing it. I'm hearing it. We're going to again with Gina. Again, let me repeat. I might have said this last week or so. Let me repeat. If we get enough balance, we understand the system a bit. You understand center to your circular situation you're in, and you can do a couple of dimensions of that, which you said in your letter that historically you just click, get balance, you function better. Click, you get balance, you function better at whatever. And I know it's more than one thing. I will say singing, but I know you were doing it with other things. And you were getting better. You were moving along faster than your peers. Is that the right word? The people around you. Now I'm beginning to wonder when we get more balanced. Again, remember, many of you have been on this balance thing for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, a long time. And there's a lot of white hair out there. I'm not sure how much more time y'all have. Don't figure to be a long timer. It's not my thing. But I'm thinking it's time to get self. Okay. So I'm wondering roughly stuff I'm mulling on before I present it clearly. How much balance? Oh, here, let's use this guy here. So these are levels, balance with that. Next level, D, balance with that. Each time there's a character there. Okay, Bobby, Robert, Nado, Sensei. Okay. How many of these do we have to do before we say, hey, all of this is going on this white paper. Right now I'm calling the white paper self. Okay. Yes, we need, I'm looking at it this way. we need a certain amount of this. We just can't start with somebody that has an idea about self and he's going to go for self. I really think that'll be crazy and total bullshit. Okay. Get some balance. Get a sense of how it works. Double check it at the next level. Sense of balance, how it works. You function better in the world or whatever. Get a few dimensions, arbitrary number, a few dimensions of how it works, comfortable actually in there, experiencing. That's why the character is important. Want to have a sense of experience, not just knowing about experience. And I'm wondering if enough is enough on this. This is a big damn universe creation. It's big, finer and finer and finer and finer and finer. Okay. But we do need some and some experiential. Okay. But the way I'm reading these letters and hearing things, I'm hearing self starting to show through, wanting to be acknowledged as being present. So again, we're going to bring that word and that in some practice. I want to try to fine tune to find a hopefully faster, better practices to have self show that it's there. It's here, but we've sort of covered them over with all these lines that we're involved in, all these energies, all these characters, all that stuff. That's fine. Sense of harmony. And someplace along the line, isn't that enough? Or isn't there a place where enough is enough? Now, self. Boom. Okay. So, Gina, I'm thinking the way you worded your thing that it's really self. Because you said I'm a short timer. I'm getting old here. Hey. And I'm thinking, why should Gina continue doing another level? She said she's having trouble moving into a finer level. I think, well, wait, she's had good history, one after the other. Very good, very successful. Okay, a personal feeling of being competent there. Something, okay, could be something else, but okay, is it self saying, you don't need any more of that? I'm here. Acknowledge me and I will show or be present, and you get to realize yourself. So that's where I'm going. Do with that what you will, Gina. Okay? Again, I'm bringing it up again to kind of prep people for self. Had a beautiful, I'm just going to read a couple of excerpts from Xavier. What page? Xavier 7. Just a couple excerpts, but I will go over it again because it's got so much in there. There we are. Okay, something unbelievable is happening to me. I'm just going to hit highlight phrases that catch me. Isato Sensei said it. Heaven is right where you're standing. And this is the place to be. You see it? It's right here. The white paper is there. It's not over here. Oh, I got to go over there. It's here. You're on it. It's here. But we're so caught up in the crayons and the twirly twirlies and the characters. We got caught up in that and meshed in that. So it's not easy at first to catch there is that self there. Okay. And self's got nothing to do with my idea about myself. That's not what I'm talking about. Self is itself, its own thing, its own unit, its own thing. I can think about it all I want, but that's not self. Okay. But we got to start someplace. So we'll talk about it, bring up some examples. Okay. But only self is self, alive, aware of itself. Okay. Okay. Here. So right here, and it says, I've been looking in the wrong places. It's a nice word he brings up here. Once you locate this inner wisdom, I like the word wisdom because to me, self has a sense of wisdom, which is different than I'm intelligent. I know a human can use the word wisdom, but when self is present, excuse me, when self is present, it has wisdom, or okay. So I like that word. I like the way he used it. This is important. You realize it has a different language. That's cool. That's cool. See, everything talks. So center up and down energies talk. Okay. I had you, the class at one time say the energies up are different than the energies down, just for fun. Which is more masculine, which is more feminine for you? You were able to sort of, oh yeah, that has a softer tone or whatever. You're able to get a sense of that. And then we could have pursued that more with what is it saying about itself, this up and down energy. Okay. So it talks. The circumstances at a finer dimension, what's really going on here? And you can begin to, in some form, hear it, and not in your ear, but in some form, there'll be a knowingness. You're in communication. You're present with it. Finer dimension, finer sense of the situation. Okay. Character talks. When those energies mix up a character, the character in experiencing himself says, "I am. I'm a good swimmer." Okay, it's not ego. He is a swimmer. He's got the energy to swim, and he can swim. He's a swimmer. It's not ego. It's a statement of identity. Great. Okay, some people misunderstand that. Anyway, so everything talks. All right, but the voice of self, it's a different language, or it doesn't, it's not a language you've heard before. You'll know it when it's there because it's your self, but it's different than all the other things we've heard. Okay. So anyway, I like that. I also like once you locate, once the self starts to show itself. He had a good session with that. We'll go into it fuller another time. It has a lot more to do with being than doing. See, the doing is all the stuff. If we look at O-sensei, we could say, oh, wait, O-sensei was just selfing. At that level, all this stuff in harmony moves around. That's why I say, you can't touch me. Because if self is present as the underlying of everything, like self underlies all of this, paper underlies it, everything. When self is present, the energies are more activated. They're harmonious to begin with, but they're activated at a finer dimension to be harmonious. How the hell are you going to grab this old man? You can't. Doesn't matter how fast. Doesn't matter how many. Something would happen where he's going to get touched that way because of that. So he'd say, was O-sensei just selving? Is that the secret of his core being? Okay. Anyway, Xavier did a good job, and there's a few pages here, which I won't get into now, but we'll come around on it because they did a really great job of having self show. He got there the hard way, a couple of years of the mental breakdown abyss. But he was able to work that out. Okay. doesn't mean you got to go crazy to get to self. Careful now. All right? Some people have picked up a bit of it by being crazy, but staying kind of alert or something, and going, oh my God, and be self. But don't misunderstand and think, I don't want to go crazy to find myself. It's not worth it. I like me the way I am. You don't have to go crazy to find self. Okay. All right. We'll simplify the hell out of it. Okay. And correct any misunderstandings that people have had in the past. I like what he calls true self. See, he's starting to catch the difference between all these characters that you can mix up here and true self. Oh, I love that, the way he phrases that, true self. Beautiful, beautiful. And to recognize the difference between all these characters you can come up with and true self. He said, this is a must. You can't confuse this with those guys. Okay. True self. Okay. It's a must. Ah, nice piece of work. He did. We'll come back on him because it's so great.
Sensei Xavier is online tonight. If you,
I don't want to talk to him. It's too much. I just want to mention self, give him a little applause, because it was a good piece of work. But we will call him front and center when we get more into self. This is not a self major tonight. Okay, thank you, Xavier.
thank you, Xavier.
Okay, let's see. Ariana, I think, again, I get the sense from your writing, I get a sense of self trying to show through. I forgot what you worded, but let me see if I can catch it real quick. Page 10. Yeah, come on, no, 9. Page 10. Oh, okay. I love the way, and should go into this more fuller when we have a little more time. Checking the clock here. That your sense of the realm you're in, you're using birds and flying things and all that. And then, so that's your circular set, your realm. And then I love the way you said, but I've got to get ground contact. I'm opening up to ground energy. And that meant it opened up to my heart, helping me. So this gravity of the earth, and the earth in return lends natural wisdom to support her cause. So what she did was in appreciating the birds and flying things, really. And then acknowledging there is a center. So she made ground contact and got a better character. So in that sense, it was a nice basic pattern. Okay, with the realm you're in, the birds, okay? Then catching ground energies up and down so you get a character. Beautiful job. But there's something you said here someplace where it sounded like, here. She asked, how do I bring forward me? See, what is she really asking? Because in a certain way, she's aware of herself liking birds and having a relationship. She likes the added of those energies, making her a better character in that realm. We got a couple of me's here already, but still me. Me. is it this quest of, I think there's something else there, self. So that's how I read things. I may be reaching, but that's how I'm starting to hear this self thing creep through some of these letters and wave at me, saying, "Hey, I want to show that I'm here." Okay. I've been doing a lot of work with Susan with self-to-self communication. So far, so good. New at the game, but so far, so good. Uh, I mentioned, I don't know if I mentioned on air, but with Diane, Florida Diane, where she told me, I heard her say that she does a couple workshops for 20 something years, had trained with me for 5 more, a lot of years before that. She calls it Sleeper Avenue. Those were the good days. And has a lot of experience with this settling finer, you can communicate better. So she did this couples workshop and relationships and all that stuff. And finally reached a point where she said, I don't know if she remembers now, but she wrote it down. I have it in writing someplace. Enough. I want to move on. Okay. Enough of the balance. Some of you have many years in balance. Not that years is the criteria, but 23 years with couples and all the years at Sleeper Avenue doing all this work. We did some great work in those days. Isn't that enough? Can't we say self, show yourself, please, self? Can we tap it and call it and have it show itself? So I'm thinking it's time. Okay. I think also that because there's so many white-haired people out there, I would like for y'all, all of us, to have a better sense of self, because when we cross over, and if we do it right, we'll end up in an astral plane vibes finer. That the confusion at that vibing finer is they say, "Oh, I'm fine." That's not self. It's a soft touch. No body pain. They love that. Oh boy, I don't hurt anymore. Oh wow. It vibes nice. But that's not self. I think me and Jack Wada came up with the term hammock space. It's a soft touch. You got your Mai Tai, you're on your hammock, beautiful weather, leave me alone. And that's the problem. They can kind of stagnate there. Now, for me, that's a problem because I'm into, let's move on to the original, what Sensei called heavenly. And I don't want folks to get stuck forever in a day in finer energy dimensions saying, "Oh, this is it. And this is me." It's not you. Self is you. Okay. So I'd like you to have a little feeling for self before you cross over to the other side. Where are we? Blah, blah, blah. And Ariana, again, we'll come back on yours again, a little more depth another time. I've been talking to Tija. He got fascinated by plateaus. He found plateaus happening, or seeing them, hearing about them in his meditation classes. So we got talking about that, and I think I'd like to do a little something with that. You all know what a plateau is. You train, you hit a certain level, and you hang there like a fool for a while. Okay, and we catch it. It's pretty commonly known in anything physical that there's a plateau. It's not just physical; everything is a plateau. So I've been researching it a bit, and I think we'll come around and me and Tija and y'all can have a discussion on plateaus and what I think is going on there. Give me a little more time to research it. Make sure I don't steer you wrong. But anyway, that's going to be coming up. Let's see. the, oops, wrong one. Dump this one. Somebody's letter was. Okay. Nope. I got it, people. Bear with. There it is. What's hindering me? Answer: a clear, oops, lack of courage to put myself out there, fear of being judged. I'm afraid to put myself out there. I'm afraid when I'm out there, I'll be judged. Okay, just to remind y'all, to, again, the way the situation energies, idea energies work is if you feel a weakness, okay, as clearly as you can, state your weakness. Okay, I'm afraid to get out, to present myself out there. Okay. With a sense of, okay, I've stated it clearly. Help! By law, here come the energies mixing up through the system to create a character who, percentage-wise, less and less and less has that problem. Okay? Right, so putting myself out there. A sense of help and a sense of retort. In my case, this is me talking to me. I'm not talking to this person. There's a sense of, if you're not clear with yourself about what you're doing, it's hard to try to present it out there to other people. And if you're not clear with yourself, it's like, I'm feeling gaps. I'm a little afraid because I know I got a hole. I know my layout isn't quite, I don't think it's quite, because I feel a hole here and they're going to punch through that hole or get me, show me what an idiot I am or what I missed or something. That's me doing me. So I'm not talking to this person. That's his problem. But that you have the ability of setting up a problem, boom, tapping the partner to the idea problem or the actual situation, partner, boom, will respond. Now remember, the partner energies, the idea stuff is pretty fast. The partner energies, I believe, as I said last week, we're in a little heavier terrain here in the human condition, a little bit molasses-like, okay? So they are active, but they're not idea, okay, I got it. They don't work that fast at first. Later, as you get some practice, you can be much faster at it because you get past the slower molasses stage and you can do a finer dimension much faster at that level. Right now, don't worry about that. So I like the idea or problem or situation, help, and take your time with those energies since they're mixing. Breathe them. You still may not know who you are to be okay with that situation. Pump them again. Pump it again. Let it mix. Hey, hey, hey. You got a body for reference. I know something's happening because my back is straightening up more. I didn't straighten up my back. My back insisted it straighten up. There's a sense of a little support under my seat. I almost feel the chair's supporting my butt. There's a little support there. Oh, does that mean anything? I don't know, but it lets me know I'm active in this. I'm starting to feel things. Starting to feel like I'm taller. I feel like I'd like to just yell right now. What does that mean? I don't know. But if I were home alone, I'd go, hey, feel like it. Activate. After a bit, you'll know, or you'll be the character that doesn't mind presenting. Okay? It's guaranteed if you do this right, because that's how it works. I got a problem. Help. Boom, here it comes. Hang out with the help. Take your time with the help. Let it mix. Play out as best you can. The more feeling of it really helps. Not just the idea about it. Feeling. When you get a fuller feeling, you'll have an idea. But you get an idea and forget the feeling, and we're going to screw this all up. Okay? So, boom, boom, bang. Mix it up. Feeling. Okay? So just a reminder, that was kind of a basic, I think basic for us old timers. I don't know. We're early tonight. I don't have anything more at the moment.
Sensei, would you like to
Open mic it?
open mic?
Sure.
And
Whatever.
if you want to say something, please just raise your hand or wave at the camera.
Hello out there. There must be somebody we haven't heard from for months and months and months.
Hey, Sensei,
Yo,
it's me, Roman. So recently with Aikido, I've gotten a new friend along for the journey, and I just wanted some advice on
Mhm.
how do I help him establish balance from the very beginning? Because right now he has no idea what real balance is.
stand on one
And
foot.
yeah, well, that's very simple, but to advance it, of course, like, because all of this went over his head today. So what I was wondering is where
This
can
class?
well he's here with us this class,
Yeah.
just
Oh, yeah. Of course it's gonna
absorbing
go
all of
over his
it.
head. Jesus.
I know, but like, where can he start so that
Oh.
he can start feeling more of what real balance is? Because he has the idea of what balance is. He took a
Okay.
physics class, but like feeling, you know?
Okay. Okay, let's start with him. What's your first sense
And
of what balance is? Ask your friend Roman.
is your friend here, Roman? Are they online?
Hello?
Yeah,
Roman.
there he is. There he is, Jan.
Yo,
And-
hi.
Hi, I'm going to put you on camera, Jen, if you don't mind. If you start your video, please.
Oh, that's all right. Yeah.
There we are.
There
Hello.
we are. Okay. I don't know. After doing all that study, what's your feeling sense? What is balance?
That's the thing. I have no idea what it means, to
Well,
be
a
honest.
wild guess. Say bullshit me. What's balance? You're a human body person. What's balance? Is it physical? Is it mental? Is it spiritual? What's balance? Bullshit me here.
I guess all of them, and like maybe they all work together, as in physically, mentally, spiritually.
Okay. All right. Yes, very advanced comment, by the way. Now let's come back to your body. Let's come back to being a human being. Let's just stay at this level. Okay. What's balance at this simple level? Let's bring it back to kindergarten, or at least grammar school here. Balance. Bullshit me. Come on, you got a body. Come on, what's balance?
I guess the ability to move, walking. I have no idea.
Walking. Okay. Walking. So at least we're starting body balance. Okay. If we were in a dojo, I would have you walk and I would touch you lightly as you were walking to call up a fuller, better balanced walker. Okay. So I just have you walk and just put a little pressure on you. And you could register your own body of how you're walking better or more balanced. Call it. Okay. and start simple there. Okay. And as we continue, then other things might start to come into play, like, walking stronger. I feel better about myself. My attitude is changing a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. But we got to start someplace simple. I don't think we can start with what can I call theoretics. See, what you said was pretty right on. They all connect with each other. But you can't do shit with that, man.
Yeah.
You can't even walk. Right?
Right.
First, let's walk for a while. Let's establish something. And then we'll see about all this theoretical stuff, which is probably what you said was true. What your book said was probably true at that level. But it doesn't do you any good a certain way.
Right.
Yeah. So let's start at grammar school. We'll start with the body and . So that's all the time I can give you. Sorry.
All right. It's all right. Thank you.
All righty, thank you. Thanks for helping.
But you
us,
got a
Sensei.
helpful buddy.
Yeah, we'll do walking. We can walk outside. We have all the time.
Yeah, let's see what comes out of walking.
All right, Sensei, we'll try it. Thank you.
Okay.
And anyone else want to say something to Neda Sensei before we wrap up for the evening?
So this is Eugene. Hello, Sensei. I noticed that applying to Gina, you mentioned.
Wait. You're a great engineer. Why are you slurring over there, Eugene?
Oh, maybe I
He's
have.
a big buck, and he's slurring on the what are you doing?
So maybe it's my microphone. So if it's not good, I'll dial some other time.
Eugene, I'm afraid,
I think it's his
Eugene, I'm afraid the
microphone volume.
volume is too high. Try turning if you can. I guess Gene's audio is not working right now, Sensei.
Okay. Can he hear me?
Yes.
Just a reminder, Eugene, for something else you brought up before, not on our program, but before. A reminder. Let me see if it's on this page. You were talking about on the message you sent me about enjoying this upper whatever. But I want to remind you, don't cut your feet off, because this piece would be nice if it were in relationship to that piece. Okay. I know it feels freer when you cut your legs off, but we can't really lose that depth of ground. We really need what Sensei called root that deeper up. So I would suggest you double check that, but do whatever you want. But I would suggest you double check that. Okay. Are we finished for tonight?
I think we are, Sensei. Thank you so much. And thank you
hang on,
everyone for participating.
I just wanted to say a little bit.
Mike Ashwell is coming in from across the pond.
Yes.
Go ahead, Mike.
Go.
Yeah. I've found, I guess, really only the first level with looking inside rather than looking outside. The tendency when we have a problem is to look outside for some means to fix it. And then one of the things that I suffer with reasonably regularly is cramp in my calf muscles when I'm just lying in bed. And there is no reason for the cramp. So I have now learned to talk to my body and just explain that there's no reason for the cramp, and please just let it go. And I do that quite successfully.
Okay, good.
But what I realized from just today's session is that I haven't been then asking the next level question of why. What?
Yeah. Okay, let me jump in. I don't even like the way that you did that. You said, hey, there's no reason for you to exist. I don't do that. I say, first, who are you and why do you exist and why are you existing that way? I let it talk. I don't threaten it. I don't try to kill it. Everything is alive. It doesn't like to be threatened. Okay. So I don't go away. Who are you? Why are you here? What's the better level you're coming from? What's your real message or statement? Da 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 would be my preference, Mike.
Yeah, no, and that makes a lot of sense. It isn't a dismissive conversation. It's, I guess you'd say, it's a loving conversation, where I reassure, the muscles that it's not necessary. It's done in that manner, but that's still only a part of the way to what you're talking about.
Yeah, you heard what I said.
I did.
I still say it.
Thank you.
And then you people do whatever you want to do whenever you want to do it. I'm just suggesting. Okay. That it? Are we finished?
I believe we are, Sensei. Thank you again. And thank you everyone for joining tonight, and see you again next week. Thank you, Sensei.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you,
Thank
Sensei.
you.
Thank you, Sensei.
Sensei.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sensei. Thank you.
Thank you,
Hey,
Sensei.
Lauren, thanks for hosting. Bob, great class.
Thank you, Sensei. Good night, all.
Thanks, Sensei. It's been another great session.
You.
And
If
thanks to
anybody
you
is
wonderful
still here-
people that make it all happen.
Thank you very much. If anyone has left, do you hear me all
Yep.
right? Or this is still gain to big?
Actually, is that Eugene?
This Eugene, yes.
Yes. So actually, your audio is okay right now. I don't know. You're completely dark in a darkened room, but
So
now-
I tuned the gain. So the gain was just a
Second, this is how it used to be.
yes, exactly the problem. That's the gain, the
Yeah,
microphone gain.
this is okay. This is okay right now, right? I just need to
Yeah.
know because
You're a
in the
little
past-
soft now.
All right. So this one is better.
There you go. That's about right.
All right.
That's it.
Thank you very much. Because in the past I was going through web interface to Zoom, and now it's application, and it looks like that the behavior is completely different. So I'll keep the gain at this level. So thank you very much.
And in the Zoom preferences under audio, there is an input volume control as well that you might want to check.
Right. I just assumed that it would work because it's the same Zoom, but my gain on the microphone was all the way up. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you
Next
for the
time.
class. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
Have a nice evening.
All right.
I was going to query what happened last week, actually, I think it was, when there was an abrupt ending to things.
That was, you ever see the Olympic relay races where the guy's running along and he puts the baton into the other guy's hand and the other guy doesn't feel it right and he runs off, leaving the baton behind?
I mean, it wasn't serious, but I was just curious.
It was, Ken thought I was turning it off and I thought Ken was turning it off, and all of a sudden we cut to black. And sorry, it wasn't intentional.
No, I didn't take it personally. It's all right. I'm getting better like that.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone, and good night.
Yeah,
I'm
good
going to
night.
sign off.